Hi, I'm Irving. You have just entered Cartertopia. You mean Londinium. As the rain comes down, we see Diana pull up in a car and stop. We don't know where except she's in Londinium and she's staking a place out.
Inspector, this is Diana.
Yes, Diana, I read you.
So I'm outside Thackeray's offices. There's no sign of him yet, but I'll let you know if he makes a move.
We're standing by till you give us the go-ahead.
Good.
Whoever Thackeray is, he must be an important suspect to bring Diana all the way across the Atlantic. Either that or she heard Batman was here and wanted to meet him.
Rasputin, come. Come on. Come on. Up. Come on up. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, good boy. Yes, oh, yes. Look at it. Attack!
Guys who do that to dogs need to be neutered. The other man in the room is making a delivery of some sort for Mr. Thackeray, and Rasputin is going with him, whether the man likes it or not.
He may look like a sentimental old fool, but he'd soon take your arm off his look at you.
And he doesn't make friends easily.
Here, move very slowly.
Why don't you just command Rasputin not to act that way with this person? His trip might go a lot more smoothly that way. But this guy is too full of himself and insecure. He has several attack dogs like Rasputin, and he likes to use them to intimidate people, even when those people are totally on his side. In other words, he's a bully. It's going to be fun seeing him get taken down. What's this guy delivering?
The United States government is trying very hard to get its hands on these. Most perfect plates ever created for $100 bills.
First one to correctly identify definitely not Ben Franklin in that image will get a shout out in a future video. I believe it is a president, but I'm not sure which one. So please help me out here. Now we come to a nice little incongruity. The episode is called Pot of Gold. What does that bring to mind? Close enough. Ireland, leprechauns, St. Patrick's Day, not Christmas. So it really is Christmas time, but we're playing Irish folk tunes. The shop we're looking at belongs to Pat O'Hanlon, a cobbler extraordinaire. Right now, he has an unhappy customer whose shoes aren't ready when she thinks they should be.
Well, the only reason I came here was because my granddaughter insisted that you needed the business.
I need nothing from the likes of you, especially it being so close to Christmas.
Give me my shoes back.
Take 'em and be gone.
Come on, Lisa.
Wait, Grandma.
Lisa and Pat are friends. Lisa wants to play their favorite game before she goes.
I can't hear. I can't hear anything.
No tricks tonight, Lisa.
What? I can't hear you. Really?
All right, let's have a look. Well, no wonder you can't hear anything. You had a coin in your ear. Now go on with you. And keep that money out of your ear.
He has a soft spot for Lisa, even if her grandmother is the stereotype for every mother-in-law joke ever made. As he's closing up and getting ready to go home, a van pulls up outside.
What? No, I'm not going in there. No, I'm not getting in there.
Why?
It's a poor cobbler you're kidnapping, don't you know that?
Just kidnapping. All we want is your gold.
Oh, come on. It's not hard to see where this is going. And we're still crisscrossing our holidays.
Gold? I haven't got any gold.
A friend of ours told us differently.
Who might that be?
Just hang on, me lad. You'll be finding out soon enough.
Hey, that's not bad. You ought to try out for the Gong Show.
Ah, pop culture reference. If you don't already know, the Gong Show was one of the most absurd phenomena to come out of the 70s. Chuck Barris hosted a show where regular people could come on and do an act, whatever they wanted, from singing and dancing to impressions to the totally weird. You had a panel of 3 celebrity judges and there was a big gong behind them. Each of them had a mallet. You had 45 seconds to do your act and impress them. If you didn't, any one of them could hit the gong and you were done. It was a total parody, making fun of talent type shows, and the prize for the day's big winner, I can't believe I still remember this, was a check for $516.32. Chuck Barris's job as host was to tell bad jokes and basically act like an idiot. He did an excellent job. When this episode came out, the show was in its second season and pretty well riding high in the ratings. I will never fully understand why. Even though I was one of the people who never missed it, I still don't completely remember why.
He's disappeared.
He's gone. I don't believe it.
But where'd he go?
If he's really what you think he is, you should have expected that. It's a thing they do. At the Londinium airport, Diana, still wearing that impossibly sexy hat, is tailing Thackeray's man as he hands Rasputin over to the baggage people and presents his ticket.
American International Flight number 4 from San Francisco is now arriving at gate number 31. United British Airways flight number 6 Lieutenant and
He jumps on a baggage cart and takes off. Where he thinks he's going with it, I'm not sure, but he won't get very far anyway. It's a lot easier to run in that outfit than it is in the long coat, and they're both equally appealing. She has shortcuts that you know nothing about, dude.
Your travels are over, Charlie.
She searches his attaché case and finds miscellaneous junk.
Where are the plates?
They're on the dog. In the vest. But you're too late, Wonder Woman.
Rasputin is on his way to America, seeking a better life where he can be free to determine his own destiny. He's dreamed of this for a long time.
We can't believe it either, Mr. Bonelli. He just disappeared.
Well, the next time, you better be more careful. You got that?
Listen, why don't we forget about O'Hanlon? He's just a poor old shoemaker anyway.
Well, that poor old shoemaker's got a hoard of gold somewhere. And I need all the gold I can get to buy those counterfeit plates. $1.5 million worth.
Mr. Bonelli, if you have $1.5 million in gold, retire. Buy yourself a little island somewhere, buy yourself a bimbo to hang out with, and take it easy. What part of this doesn't click in your head? But he has big plans, and those plates are his ticket to carrying them out.
In 2 days, I'm going to be the guy dishing out the funerals and making people sweat. No one's going to stop me from getting those plates. Especially not some stupid old shoemaker.
If that stupid old shoemaker has as much gold as you think he does, maybe he's not as stupid as you think he is. The shoemaker, cobbler, in question has managed to sneak home. Nobody saw him. Okay, almost nobody. And it's time for another incongruity. Does she have standing permission to come into his place unannounced like that?
Oh, Lacey, you gave me a fright. You mustn't sneak up on me like that.
That would be no. He's getting ready to skip town and doesn't have time for her.
I've got to go away, darling. There's some bad men who are after me.
Do they want your gold?
He does have a good amount of gold. She saw it one time when she snuck into the basement of his shop. I think this girl is learning to be a burglar and Pat is her practice dummy. Anyway, he drags a solemn oath out of her never to mention his gold again. It could get her into deep trouble. Diana called Steve and told him about the dog, so when the plane lands and the baggage is unloaded, Steve and another agent are there to take custody of Rasputin. Just as soon as they figure out which one he is. One of Thackeray's men isn't too far away.
Easy, boy, easy now.
I hate to say it, but shoot the dog. Now. I told you to shoot him. Now he's too far away and you really think you're going to catch a dog on foot. Well, we all need our little fantasies, I guess. Rasputin hops in the van and they take off. While Steve writes down the license plate, he tells the other men to seal all the airport exits. But you know they can't get that done before the van gets away, so it's kind of pointless. Thackeray arrives in Washington and hails a cab. He and his men are meeting Bonelli in a hangar somewhere.
Nice.
His Majesty's Light Horse Brigade.
I saw the movie. Yeah, cannons to the right, cannons to the left. You collect these?
In a manner of speaking. Only when mine reach London, they won't be lead. They'll be gold.
That's how he plans to smuggle the gold out of the country. Because far be it from a man as important as he to do something as common as paying a duty or some such. That sort of thing is for little people, and maybe small operators like Bonelli. Thackeray accuses him of not being able to handle a deal like this. Bonelli says, just watch how this goes down. You'll see.
There is one thing, though. I need another 24 hours. It would make things a lot easier if we can deliver it on Thursday.
And he just proved Thackeray's point. Mr. Thackeray tears into him and says, Wednesday, or when I'm done, you're no operator at all. Let's recap. He's swapping $1.5 million in gold for some perfect $100 bill printing plates. But to complete the deal, he's depending on stealing gold that he's not even sure exists from a guy he thinks is a creature that he's not even sure exists. So if he doesn't get a pot of leprechaun gold, the whole thing crashes and he gets a one-way trip to the afterlife. This is his big plan to become a kingpin. I can't wait to hear what the other gangsters think of it. They'll take away his membership card and his secret decoder watch. Pat's phone is ringing, but he's having none of it. He's out of here.
Going somewhere, Mr. O'Hanlon?
Oh, first it's kidnapping, now it's breaking and entering, is it? Well, you'll be getting coal in your stockings this Christmas.
Your gold, old man.
Send help here right away, please.
Like he said, the gold, man.
Their threats are enough to make him give in. He takes them to the gold.
Jackpot!
What was Lisa doing down there that she found that? I also want to know what's stamped on those coins.
And never look a gift horse in the mouth, old man. That's why I'm not going to ask you how in the world you acquired all this. Or why in the world you haven't spent it.
I've wondered that about leprechauns myself. What's the point of having it if you don't do anything with it? Kind of like these billionaires in America who hoard tons of money offshore and all that. What's the point of having it if you don't do anything with it? And they're not even leprechauns.
Please, can I get out of here now, too?
What's the matter, old man? Don't you like my company?
Well, it's the basement I don't like. Dark and secluded places. It never did sit well with me.
Oh, please don't throw me in that briar patch.
Well, that's just too bad. Because I don't know what else I can do with you except, leave you down here.
No, please, Mr. Bonelli, don't do that. Use your gun, anything, but please, don't lock me up.
Please, please, please don't throw me in that briar patch. You done throwed me in that briar patch. Born and bred in the briar patch, that's me. Thank you, Brer Rabbit. I have a hunch that's where Pat learned it. Bonelli and his men head back to wherever with the gold. As I said, Brer Rabbit. Or maybe Brero Rabbit, since he's Irish. Diana reports to Steve, still wearing that same hat and coat. They should be able to stand up by themselves by now. Steve says, I think I have a way to find Thackeray.
Gold robberies, about a dozen of them in the past month. Apparently done by the same person or persons.
Oh, I get it. Thackeray never negotiates for currency, only precious metals or jewels.
Whoever's been stealing the gold is planning on buying the counterfeit plates. Find the gold thief, chances are you'll find Thackeray.
They've arranged for a security company to transfer some gold that afternoon and made sure word got out. Thing is, Diana is that security company. She and some agents will be doing the stuff and hopefully getting robbed. Now there's a phrase you don't hear every day.
Thackeray's discounting our gold.
Oh.
All right, listen, you two guys, get the doors. Let's go.
That's a fake truck they'll use as a substitute for the real one after they hijack it. They don't know they have a hitchhiker. I'm not sure why he got in the truck. I don't think his gold is in it. It's probably somewhere in that hangar, so he should have waited until they left and then gone to find it. He heard what they're doing, and it has nothing to do with his gold, so I don't get it. Diana is riding with a male chauvinist named Gino when they come upon something odd.
Hey, it's one of our trucks. We better stop. Have a problem here?
You do. Hold it, sweetheart. Come on out.
Why wasn't Diana's radar going off? This is a classic setup for that sort of thing, and she knows it. She is really off her game today. Must be the jet lag. One of the guys locks Diana in the back of the fake truck, and they make Gino drive the real one away with them. That didn't take long. The bad guys take the fake van to where they're picking up the gold. If that was his plan, he needs a new one. It didn't work. They load the gold, throw Gino out, and take off. This is as good a time as any to recall that Linda Carter did pretty much all of her own stunts. Pat is running after the truck himself, and he's taking a shortcut.
You won't get in the way. Run him down.
He's appropriately grateful.
Now what did you do that for?
I just saved your life.
You let them get away is what you did. Gah! Interfering women. Ugh.
Appropriately grateful if you're a moron or a leprechaun. Diana Prince drives Pat home, still trying to get some information out of him. At his place, Lisa comes in and Pat convinces her to keep quiet. But he's not as persuasive as Diana is.
If you really care about him, you'll tell me about those men who wanted to hurt him.
But I promise not to.
You don't want to see Pat get hurt, do you?
Well, you policemen, a police person?
Well, sort of.
Well, some men tried to take Pat's gold.
How much gold does he have?
Oh, a lot. He has a big old-fashioned pot of it filled to the brim. I saw it by mistake once. I shouldn't tell you this, but I think Pat's a leprechaun.
Diana is talking to Steve and Ira about Pat O'Hanlon. She wants a full rundown on him, especially anything about a pot of gold.
Steve, what do you know about leprechauns?
Oh, the wee people. Now, my grandmother told me all about them. It's an old Irish myth. Magical little men who have been given a pot of gold to guard. If you capture one, he must give up his gold. And he has to get it back all by himself. But if you take your eyes off of him, the leprechaun will disappear.
Like Pat has already done twice, right? Some coincidence he knows a trick like that.
Pure fantasy.
As much fantasy, perhaps, as Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor?
Yeah. Right.
Pat has gone to his shop and gotten himself a revolver. Well, Steve did say he has to get the gold back by himself. A gun doesn't count as an accomplice. Diana arrives at his shop just as he's leaving, so she follows him. But he spots her right away and starts trying to lose her. My mistake. He eludes her in magnificent fashion. Convinced yet, Diana? Pat parks his car where he can see Benelli's hangar and starts walking that way. And Diana just drove right past his car without noticing. She must have stopped looking for it. She really is off her game today. Pat is inside and ready for action.
You're making one big mistake, O'Hanlon.
Oh, not me, boyo. I'm not the one making the mistake. You are. Tangling with the likes of me. Now, I'll just take what's mine and be gone.
I don't think Mr. Rouch is gonna let you do that.
Aren't you the sly one? Well, I'm not as big a fool as you think.
He got it. He watches his back like Batman and Robin do.
Oh, it's rumored that there's a cheap hood named Vincent Benelli who is negotiating a gold deal that's going to put him in the big time.
Benelli? He started off as a trigger boy in Philly. I should think that a deal with Thackeray would put him in way over his head.
And if he gets over his head, it'll probably lead to a gang war and lots of people will get hurt. To say nothing of what a bunch of counterfeit money could do to the economy.
Yeah, that's it. That'll get you out of my hair. And keep you out, old man.
O'Hanlon is in that box, by the way.
Anybody comes looking for you and opens that door, you're gonna meet with a very unfortunate accident.
Diana finds Pat's car just as Benelli and his boys are leaving and doesn't realize it's them. She seems to have a knack for that today. She transforms and goes to find Benelli's hangar. She sees the dangling box and hears Pat yelling from inside it.
Would you be looking for someone, Miss Wonder Woman?
You knew it was going to happen, and the way the two of them played it, it was great anyway.
What are you doing in here?
Getting me gold.
Well, if you had cooperated with Diana Prince before, she might have been able to help you.
Don't you bandy words with me, Wonder Woman. You of all people should know the rules under which I must operate.
He makes a valid point, just like Iraq did. Your very existence proves there's a lot more to this world than the average person will ever know. You've met aliens multiple times. You've met a girl from another dimension. You've met people from the future. A leprechaun shouldn't be hard for you. Really? Nothing should. O'Hanlon is being gruff and kind of a jerk, but he helps Wonder Woman search the place for a clue where Benelli might have gone.
Well, I think I might have an idea where Mr. Thackeray is conducting his.
Oh, where's that?
Well, if we're lucky, it's near here, and that's where the gold is headed. And so are we. By we, I mean the IADC and squad cars, Mr. O'Hanlon, because I'd like for you to call Steve Trevor at the IADC and...
She still hasn't learned. As quick as he saw what you revealed, he was off to wherever it is. I suggest you do the same. It's another hangar, of course. We rented this airport for the show, and we're going to get our money's worth.
Rasputin. Very soon we'll be in possession of over $1.5 million worth of gold, as well as the counterfeit plates.
Gee, it's a double cross. What a surprise. I did not see that coming. While he examines the gold and O'Hanlon tries to figure a way to get it away from them, Steve and Diana have arrived at this airport with some cops. The question now is where to start looking. There are lots of hangars here.
Steve!
That has to be for Thackeray, and now they know where he is.
It's all there. The question is, where are the plates?
The plates? Well, they're right where they've always been. They're in Rasputin's vest.
Go get it, Max.
Max said, "Get him yourself," handed Benelli his hat and left.
Shoot the dog.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
While the double cross is going down, Pat is ready to make his move.
You're that old man, stop!
Hold it, nobody moves. Everybody drop your weapons.
Pat, it's all right. Just get down from there.
I could have handled it myself, Missy, and you're me witness.
Which means under the rules, he can have his gold back, I think. But it's not finished yet. Steve goes after Benelli while Diana finds a place to transform. Thackeray has his own ideas.
And move very carefully and very slowly.
By the time Diana transforms, Thackeray and Pat are already on the helicopter.
Will you put me down?
I would just as soon not make it a habit of saving your life.
Now, if you're quite through with these trifling distractions, she has work to do.
What's going on? Get us out of here! Get out of here!
That's one little doggy that won't be getting along. Thackeray still has one card he can play.
Rasputin! Attack!
He doesn't realize Wonder Woman has a way with animals. All she has to do is talk to them.
Come on, old fella. You know better than that. Sit.
But it would seem she doesn't need to because leprechauns can do the same thing.
Mr. O'Hanlon, how did you do that?
We all have our little secrets, don't we, Miss Wonder Woman?
And that's it. That's all we get. It's like reading some nice erotic fiction that teases and teases you, and when it gets down to it, the book says they engaged in coitus. Things just sort of fall flat in the book and elsewhere. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, that ending was too abrupt. We needed an epilogue with Steve, Diana, and Ira discussing the prospect of leprechauns and what they have to do with Christmas. But truthfully, if we have to do a Christmas-themed episode, I'd rather have one with a leprechaun than Santa Claus. That's one that had been done to death long before this. A leprechaun is a nice change-up. Kind of a strange one, but interesting. Even better was Ira taking the side of they could possibly exist. Steve is somewhere in that no man's land between what he's known all his life and what's staring him in the face. I think his answer is, let's find a new case, quick. And they will. Next week. I'm Irving, and you are now exiting Cartertopia.